Have you ever wondered why people from Gen X seem calm but slightly detached, independent but hard to read, strong but rarely emotional in public? Why is that? Generation X grew up in a very specific psychological environment. Latchkey kids, minimal supervision, figure it out yourself, parenting, and that does something to a developing mind. When you grow up learning that vulnerability doesn't get much response, you stop performing it. Gen X didn't have social media to process emotions publicly. They didn't have constant digital validation. They had silence, responsibility, independence. And independence, when learned early, becomes identity. Here's the first psychological trait: self-reliance as survival. Many of them had to cook their own meals, solve their own problems, entertain themselves. So emotionally, they built an internal anchor. That's why they rarely overshare. They don't expect the world to rescue them. Second trait: low tolerance for drama. When you grow up in uncertainty, economic shifts, cultural transitions, rising divorce rates, you adapt by minimizing emotional noise. So when younger generations spiral online over small conflicts, Gen X often watches quietly, not because they don't care, but because their stress threshold is higher. Third, skeptical mindset. They witnessed institutions change. They saw promises fail. So psychologically, they don't attach easily to trends, ideologies, or hype. Trust is earned slowly. This can look like cynicism, but it's often pattern recognition. And finally, emotional privacy. For Gen X, emotions were handled internally or within a very small circle, not broadcasted. So when you see someone from that generation who seems reserved, understand this: they were trained to solve quietly, to endure quietly, to grow quietly. That kind of resilience doesn't always look warm, but it's strong. And strength, when built without applause, tends to last longer. If this made you see Gen X differently, subscribe. See you in the next one.